that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. We care enough. We care enough. We care enough.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Aaron. Welcome to The Kind of Love, where we talk about the internal struggles and internal dialogue, the self-talk that's holding us back from getting the kind of love that we're looking for. Have you ever felt just like someone didn't really see you, they didn't really hear you, you felt not valued in a relationship, like no matter what you did, it just wasn't good enough? So what do you do in situations like that when you just are not getting the kind of love you're looking for? You know, I had a friend once where I thought I was being helpful and I was excited for his project that he was making, and I got a lot of resistance back. I got shut down a lot, and I was just really interested in why that kept happening, and I wanted to become aware of that. And so I just straight up asked him, you know, friend, what role do you want me to play in your project? Like, how do you see me as the biggest help in this project? And man, did I get a flood of judgments back from him. Well, Aaron, you do this, that, and the other. You always do this. Careful, by the way, for always sentences or never sentences, right? Those are our like harshest, heaviest judgments. We hold people to their patterns. Anyways, I realized that I wasn't being helpful to him at all. In fact, I was actually being harmful to myself by playing this role that didn't really exist. And by asking him what role he wanted me to play in his project, I really got a sense of how he actually valued me. Like, he didn't really value.
Ladies and gentlemen, hour number 2 of the VOR. You know, February 2nd, that was the 2-year anniversary. Wow. I just found out about that yesterday on Facebook. That 2 years went by quick, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building, live from KBLA Talk 1580. Tonight's topic is a heavy one, right? We're talking about relationship disenfranchisement, where you don't feel valued or loved. You've been disenfranchised in the relationship. You're struggling to feel worthy. What are the signs that you're undervalued in a relationship? Emotional distance, physical distance, You never feel good enough. They never ask for your opinion or advice on anything. Your opinion and advice may not be wanted and may not be valued at all. Right? You talk, but you're not heard. Right? You're not listened to. Your feelings mean absolutely squat to them. Right? Your partner dismisses your concerns that you bring to their attention. You feel resentment towards your partner because of that. There's a lack of respect. This is heavy stuff. Have you ever been in a relationship like that? Let me just say this. I believe most relationships struggle because of the society in which we live. This has been one of my through line thoughts for the past 2 years, right? I believe the toxicity of the society in which we live kind of warps our perspective with regards to how we're supposed to show up and interact with another person. Krishnamurti, you knew I was going to bring Krishnamurti in here. Krishnamurti says it this way. Both poverty and riches are a bondage. The consciously poor and the consciously rich are the playthings of circumstances. Did y'all hear that? 1-800-920-15. The consciously poor and the consciously rich are the playthings of circumstances. Both are corruptible, for both seek that which is corrupting. Power. Power is greater than possessions. Power is greater than wealth and ideas. These, listen to me now, these do give power, but they can be put away, and yet the sense of power remains. One may beget power through simplicity of life, through virtue, through the party, through renunciation, but such means are a mere substitution, and they should not deceive you. The desire for position, prestige, and power, the power that is gained through aggression and humility, through asceticism and knowledge, through exploitation and self-denial, is subtly persuasive and almost instinctive. Such in any form of power and failure is merely the denial of success. To be powerful, to be successful, is to be slavish, which is the denial of virtue. Virtue gives freedom, right? But it is not a thing to be gained. Any achievement, whether of the individual or the collective, becomes a means of power. Success in this world and the power that self-control and self-denial bring are to be avoided, for both distort understanding. Do you see? Many of us have been conditioned to think that if I get money, if I get cute, if I get the right partner, I've got some kind of power. And that power is going to lead to what comes out of you without all of that stuff. You know what comes out of you? You know what's supposed to come out of you that can't come from outside of you? Peace, stillness, understanding. Do you know that? You're codependent on safety, which is why many of you give up your power. You're codependent on safety. If somebody purports to bring you some level of safety, you will capitulate. How are you codependent on safety, Zoe? You'll become codependent on the person who provides it. Do you see? Safety can only come out of you. And that's through your perspective. Dr. David R. Hawkins put it another way. He said, if you see the world as dangerous, you'll see danger everywhere. If you see the world as loving and peaceful, you'll see love everywhere. Do you see? You're in pursuit of power. You call it peace, but it's really power. Because the one with the power, in your perspective, experiences the most peace. Ooh, Lord. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. We in here cooking tonight. True Monger, Dallas, Texas. Get in here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, boy. I think these relationships will come this way because in some form or fashion, the people involved will allow it. Like you were saying, people become too dependent on the other person. It's like they're looking for a substitute parent. If you're too dependent on external safety, which you all know the real safety, the real security is internal anyway. You can't really depend on outside source for that. It starts with you. They could complement it. Y'all can complement each other. But you can't turn to an adult baby, an adult infant in your relationships. You shouldn't, neither party should do that to one another. That's not fair to either one. Two adults should not be acting that way towards each other. But like we all notice, people mirror how society wants them to act.
That's right.
They don't write their own script for their relationships. They don't bring common sense into their relationships. They base a lot of it off of what they see in TV and movies.
Wait, you just hit something big, True. Again, I was on Dr. Sunshine. I was on her show last night or yesterday morning, 8 a.m. in the morning. I got up and drove down here. I was like, Lord, I had to turn my alarm on. I came down. We was killing. And one of the things that Dr. Shalonda points out, and correctly, she points this out correctly, and that is most people are unaware and they don't know what they should be doing. And what I was trying to, and she also points out that it's very hard to do what I'm asking people to do. And for me, one telltale way you can get in a relationship and not be disenfranchised, to speak to your point, you have to go in the relationship looking for how you show up. You're 100% right. Most people do what their parents taught them to do, or how they were molded, or how they modeled their home environment, right? Listen, I don't care if it's hard, but if you start looking at you, and like you said, if you start showing up saying, I'm not going to allow me to co-create a situation that I'm eventually not going to want, right? I'm not going to allow myself to co-create a situation that I will eventually become resentful of.
A lot of people don't even want to put in the effort to do better.
Do you see what I'm saying?
They know better, but they don't want to put the effort into changing whatever bad habits they modeled. They're like, oh, this is the way it is. And I'm like, no, you're not trying. You're not putting in effort to do better. You know better, but you just going along to get along.
Right.
And what that's going to end up doing is have you lonely in a house or apartment with a bunch of cats. Wondering what happened.
Wondering what happened.
Just because you didn't want to put any self-work in.
That's right.
You wanted to put it all on your partner, like your partner doesn't have their own issues. Drive them out. You drive them crazy to a point where they don't want to be around you no more. Then you get mad about it. Have nerve to get mad about it.
Right.
But you don't look at everybody else except yourself.
100% agree. 100% agree. True, you already know what you just did, don't you?
Yes, sir. Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the building. Hey, the Lone Star State, they show up for the VOR every night. Where is Nikki from the SIP? She's got to complete the trifecta. Get to your phone lines tonight. I want to talk to you. I see Ghetto Gourmet, Attila called in. There's a lot of people. Who else we got? I'm staying on point. Hey, so many people in the chat room right now. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Nazarene X is in the building. It's a lot of people in here. Pretty Brown Mimi is in the building. Truemonger just got off the line. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody for calling in. I'm asking you to call right now, 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to Long Beach.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying Black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Know what I know in while the black band's sweating in the power. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power. We got to fight the powers that be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boy, that playlist is on fire. But I'm here to tell you, you can't fight the power in relationships, especially relationships that are born out of this toxic society. You can't. Do you know why? Because success is equated to power. This is simply how we were raised and conditioned. Krishnamurti puts it this way: success in this world and the power that self-control and self-denial bring are to be avoided, for both distort understanding. It is the desire for success that prevents humility. And without humility, how can there be understanding? The man of success is hardened, self-enclosed. He is burdened with his own importance, with his responsibilities, achievements, and memories. Listen, there must be freedom from self-assumed responsibilities and from the burden of achievement. For that which is weighed down cannot be swift, and to understand requires a swift, pliable mind. Mercy is denied to the successful, for they are incapable of knowing the beauty of life, which is love. The desire for success is the desire for domination. To dominate is to possess, and possession is the way of isolation. This self-isolation is what most of us seek. Through name, through relationship, through work, through ideation. In isolation, there is power, but power breeds antagonism and pain. For isolation is the outcome of fear, and fear puts an end to all communion. Communion is relationship, and however pleasurable or painful relationship may be, in it there is the possibility of self-forgetfulness. Isolation is the way of the self, and all activity of the self brings conflict and sorrow. What does he mean by all of that? Listen, the desire for success is the desire for domination. To dominate is to possess, and possession is the way of isolation. Please listen. Number one, we are as ambitious in relationship as we are in business. We even say it. We want our relationships to be successful. How many times you hear people say that? We want our relationship to be successful. Do you understand? You're in pursuit of success in the spirit realm. Relationship is the spirit realm. But because you live in a transactional society, a capitalistic society, a hypergamistic society, right? Men get a bloated ego when they become successful according to society's terms. The ego gets overblown because they think because I've climbed the mountain in society, I can have whatever woman I want. Didn't 50 say that? Get the money, the women come with it. He didn't say women. Am I lying? And then the women have to walk a tightrope of integrity. I want the man with the resources. But that man is corrupted by the system that gave him the resources. So there's capitulation in her too. she's got to capitulate to the toxicity in the man that conquered the world. But even the Christian will tell you, who is the ruler of this world? Do you see? You give up your power when you give up the truth of who you are. You give up the truth of who you are every day. You know how? You quiet your voice. You ignore your wounds. You don't look at them non-judgmentally with love, with empathy. You give up your power every day. That's why you down for whatever deal makes sense. What deal usually makes sense in the intimate realm? A deal that's predicated on security? A deal that's predicated on safety? And are these not things you can cultivate within yourself? Don't be fake spiritual with me. I don't attract that kind of mess to my life, but be messy. And then those things come into your life. Do you understand? You haven't even mastered being you, which is why you seek power. Because you think if you have power, you ain't got to be you. Because you have the ultimate resource. Do you hear what I'm saying? Are you listening? Any achievement, whether of the individual or of the collective, becomes a means of power. Success in this world and the power that self-control and self-denial bring are to be avoided. Do you understand? Do you remember when I said discipline is a problem? You hear men talk about it all the time. You got to have discipline. You hear women saying that man got to be a disciplined man. A disciplined man is a spiritually chained man. What do you mean, Zoe? He's in a prison. He's relying on ideological constructs to contain him, as opposed to taming himself. Did you hear what I said? The discipline is a kennel. It's a spiritual kennel. Instead of overcoming himself, instead of taming himself, he has to discipline himself. That's what Krishnamurti means here via self-control or self-denial. Do you understand? You give up your power every day to yourself. No wonder you go into the relationship ready to capitulate to somebody who got good sex, to somebody who got deep pockets, to somebody who got resources. When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines.
To make everybody see, in order to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. 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 We got to fight the powers that be.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The prosecutor behind Donald Trump's Georgia election interference case is responding to allegations of misconduct. Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis, in a court filing, admitted she had a personal relationship with an outside prosecutor she appointed to manage the case against the former president. The defendants in the case accused Willis, who is black, of benefiting financially by hiring special prosecutor Nathan Wade, her alleged romantic partner, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and want the case to be dismissed. Willis said there's no evidence the relationship prejudiced the case. A hearing on the allegations is set for February 15th. AMC Theaters is offering audiences discounted tickets to celebrate Black History Month. This month, the $5 Fan Faves program will return to AMC, and theaters will offer 2 daily showings of certain films for $5 a ticket. Each week will have a different select movie with discounted tickets. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Don't let a traffic accident ruin your day? Visit fixautousa.com to find the nearest Fix Auto location. Their highly trained and certified technicians will have you back on the road in no time. You have a choice on who fixes your vehicle. Tell your insurance agent that you want to go to Fix Auto.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
Listen up, City of Los Angeles renters that live in rent-controlled units. Landlords can now increase your rent by 4%. Know these 3 facts. The rent increase is allowed February 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2024. An extra 1% per utility up to 6% can be added if the landlord pays the entire gas and electric bill. And illegal rent increase complaints can be filed at housing.lacity.org. Check if you live in a rent-controlled unit and learn more at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now rolling for Duncan Shannon and their client CTPP. This radio spot is entitled Stephen, KICA 2023. ISKI code XCF S02050000. And this is a 30-second radio spot, stereo monocompatible.
That was another way. I would smoke once an hour. That didn't work either. All that would happen at some point of the day, I would end up doubling up. Other ways that I tried to quit was I stopped buying cigarettes totally. But if I took 3 puffs off of 15 friends, those didn't count because they weren't my cigarettes and they weren't full cigarettes. I went through a lot.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of
Ladies and gentlemen.
If you even hear yourself saying things like, well, if they love me enough, they would know better. Or if they love me enough, they would just show up differently. This is a sign that covert contracts are at play. Because the reality is, even if somebody loves us so much, they are not necessarily going to mind read. Now, a different conversation would be if you consistently communicate your needs, see your needs through, remind your partner or loved one of their needs, and they don't show up. Well, now that's a talk about, hey, am I even in the right relationship? But if I'm upset and hurt and questioning a relationship, then I'm not communicating my needs within, and definitely not communicating my needs frequently within. Well, now this may actually be the onus of responsibility on us to be better and more effective and really more consistent at practicing open communication.
Wow, good stuff. That's Thais Gibson yet again. Dropping jewels. We're talking about being relationally disenfranchised within your intimate relationship and or marriage. You might have been disenfranchised in your childhood. Isolated, couldn't speak up, couldn't express your emotions, was unseen and unheard. I remember as a child, that was the thing. Children are to be seen, not heard. That was a big thing. And you have to understand, there are some long-term effects of being relationally disenfranchised, mental health effects as well. Experiencing relationship disenfranchisement can have profound long-term effects on an individual's mental health. It can lead to anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and low self-esteem. You got to seek therapy and support groups, and practicing self-care. These are essential steps for healing and rebuilding your mental well-being. Now, you know, self-care is another one of those words like trauma or narcissist that are just being used too much. And people don't have a deeper understanding of it. Self-care also is, you can link it to Carl Jung's work. When Carl Jung is talking about the unconscious, self-care has to be applied to the shadow. Somebody meme it. You can't integrate the shadow into the persona, the mask you wear, the mask you're trying to tell everybody that is really you. You can't integrate the shadow unless you care about it. What do you mean? Unless you empathize with it. You've heard me say before, I don't like the term self-care because I understand what the word care means. Right? You guys remember that? Do you guys remember when we talked about the word care and what it means? Well, let's pull it up from its etymological root. The study of etymology deals with what? It deals with the origin of words, not the definition. The word care, Old English, karu, meaning sorrow, anxiety, grief. I don't want self-care. I want self-empathy. I want to empathize with the shadow. I want to sympathize with the shadow. I want to love on my shadow. You want to be empowered? That's how you do it. Care, Old English, karu, sorrow, anxiety, grief. Also, burdens of the mind, serious mental attention. In late Old English, also concern, anxiety caused by apprehension of evil or the weight of many burdens. From Proto-Germanic, caro, lament, grief, care. Is there any reason why, is it any wonder why the folk that run the world, that are up at the Bohemian Grove in Sacramento, California, have a ritual called the death of care? Ooh, y'all didn't think I was going to throw that curveball, did you? But there it is. The people that are ruling the world are saying care gotta die. Not self-care, it's self-empathy. You empathize with your parents, who you inherited your model from. Do you understand? You empathize with them. Hey, they're a work in progress. They could only take me so far. I'm appreciative for how far they were able to take me. Now, I got to break up with their ideology. You've heard me say this before. One of the greatest breakups you will ever have is breaking up with your mother and father's beliefs. Yes, their beliefs got you to where you are. But you know what you have to do? You've got to recontextualize those beliefs to become your own. Right? You modeled their toxicity. And if part of their toxicity was stripping you of your power, guess what the mirror of relationship is going to do? It's going to give you opportunities to see how you show up, to see if you will take responsibility. This is how I show up in relationships, right? This is how I show up, and I need to be responsible and take accountability and start to rewrite some of these narratives that have made me, or that have put me in a position of powerlessness in relationships. Heavy stuff, right? Whew. I'm staying on point. You already know what it is. LA in the building, Long Beach, California. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Lafayette family. See if I can keep this short. Just as you were saying that the relationship is a mirror, when we meet people, we meet them at the level that we're currently on, what we're currently vibrating. And I believe the disenfranchisement comes when, like you said, you start to see how you show up. So once you begin to better yourself, then the person that starts to apply the disenfranchisement pressure is feeling that they're losing control of you. They're wanting you to remain at the frequency that they met you. But if you are growing, and then when the balance becomes uneven and they feel that they're losing, that's where the pressure comes. They start blaming you, or they start ignoring you, valuing you, and then it becomes a game of cat and mouse. And then what did I do? Then it becomes, let me chase this person, because the security, the false sense of security. Well, I don't want to lose this person. You want a piece of the person, but you don't want the piece of the person.
Ooh, you don't want peace with the person. Ooh, what if you could reciprocally exchange peace?
Disenfranchisement is a waste of energy that could be placed somewhere else that will be conducive to building. And once that's lost, communication and everything else that goes into properly building a relationship, it just gets tossed in the water. And then, like Beyonce said, I'm not going to let you break my soul. 3 Stacks said, prayer is the tightest game that you can have. Prayer is not a game, but when you use it effectively, then that's when your discernment comes, and then that's when I have to leave.
Wow. I'm staying on point. You know I love you. You got more? I know you got more. Give me one more. Give me one more jewel.
Stay on your prayer game. That's your A game. Stay on your prayer game.
I love it. Guess what you just did?
I brought the LBC in the building.
LBC in the building. When I come forward, Zoe gonna land this plane.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel occasional burning and stabbing in my hands as I age.
I sometimes feel numbness and tingling in my feet as I get older.
It's starting to get in the way of doing what I love.
At Nervive, we hear you, and we can help. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use.
Now that I know, I'm taking control.
Try Nervive Nerve Relief and say yes to healthy nerves. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, Joe Montana here. Back in my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia, a bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older, or 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like diabetes or asthma, you're at increased risk. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now listen, let me just say something real quick about this record. This record was created by a group called Snap. But I was really disappointed when this record came out. This was the pop version of this record. They actually stole it from a hip-hop artist by the name of Chill Rob G. And his record was called The Power. You know, and they're singing, it's getting kind of heavy, but his version of The Power is getting kind of hectic. And the dude that's rapping tried to sound exactly like him. And I didn't like it. What is that?
I still got the power.
Is that the original? Chill Rob G. But Chuck D wasn't on the original. So give me the original, because that ain't the original. This was the original. Okay. Same beat. Yeah! I've got the power. Same thing. So, I'm just saying, you know, Snap came out, they went to the Grammys, got all of it together. And I just feel like Chill Rob G never got his just due. You know, he was a part of the Flavor unit with Queen Latifah and Mark the 45 King. You know, rest in peace, Mark the 45. I'm sorry for the hip-hop history class. But, you know, again, I had to play the record because it fit the topic. But let me just say this. Krishnamurti, man, this is why he's my favorite philosopher, man, because he gives us something to chew on, especially when it comes to relationships. He said, when you are attached to anything, there is always fear in it, of losing it. There's always a sense of uncertainty. Please observe it for yourself. There's always a sense of separation. If I'm attached to my wife, right? I'm not married, but suppose I am. I am married to my wife, married. I'm attached to her because she gives me pleasure sexually, gives me pleasure as a companion. She gives me pleasure as a cook. You know, all the rest of it. I don't have to tell you all of this, right? You know, all this without me telling you. So I'm attached to her, which means I am jealous, frightened, and the consequences of attachment is the continuation of fear, of losing, jealousy, anxiety. Where there is jealousy, there is hatred. And is attachment love? That is one point in our relationship. In our relationship, each one of us has, through the years, put together an image about each other. Those images she and I have created about each other is the actual relationship. Wait, let me stop. Those images she and I have put together for each other is the actual relationship. You're not even in a relationship with the person. You're in a relationship with the image you have of them. Are you listening? They may sleep together, but the fact that you and she have an image about each other, and in that relationship of images, how can there be any actual, factual relationship with one another? We have all of us from childhood have built images about ourselves and about others. And we are asking a very serious question in our relationship. Can we live without a single image? See, who you think you are is what causes you to give up your power in a relationship. Who you think you are, not who you actually are. Do you know that if you cultivated your spirit, that if you looked at your shadow with empathy, right? Without judgment, with acceptance. Do you know how powerful you could become in a world of people who, as Carl Jung explained, would do absolutely anything, no matter how absurd it is, to avoid facing themselves? Do you know you would stand out like one lightning bug underground? The light you had would just illuminate everything. Do you understand? So many of us are afraid to be ourselves. This is why self-awareness is so important in healthy relationships. So many of us are afraid to be the whole self. We always want to be the ideal self, right? Why? Because the ideal self represents a type of success. And as Krishnamurti explained, where there is success, there is this sense of power. And where there is power, there is domination. Because I have the power, because I have the resources, I have the right to dominate you. Do you understand? It's very important that we understand the spiritual apparatus that intimate relationships represent. You can heal every spiritual disease in your body if you observe how you show up in relationship. Everything that's in your spirit, if you observe how you show up and you take accountability for what comes up out of your shadow, my goodness, you can heal every generational curse if you just but embraced it. The moment you heal the generational curse, you turn off the magnet that's spiritually embedded in the curse. The magnet is calling its likeness. Why do I keep getting the same kind of person? Because you haven't healed. Why do I keep getting a different variation of the same experience? Because you haven't accepted yourself. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. Up next, the fire shall continue. My friend, your friend, our friend, my sister, Jill Monroe. RSVP with Jill Monroe. I'll see you tomorrow with another slapper. Deuces.
Then you know where I'm coming from. Me, lay in the cut and go along. And I'm still on the case. And my rap is strong. Hey! Go jump on my train when I'm out of sight. Just check yourself and say, yeah, you're right.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black information.